Hey everybody, or at least 5 people who are watching. It's time again for Lunch With. And I'm here, Lunch With Me. And I'm here today with my old pal Aaron Madsen, sitting there with the sammich, and I got my sammich. And we're not in a restaurant today because a lot of them, well, all of them, won't let us go in and sit down unless you're in the patio, and that's too noisy, and you have to wear a mask. And how do you eat through a mask? That's So we're here without masks because we're in an enclosed area. Should I start over?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, good. So we have our questions. We have
about
our
to see the punk rock mentality tonight on this. Like, yeah, it's whatever. Go for
punk
it.
Punk production.
Punk production.
Okay, so the first question is, as you take a bite, where and when did we meet? Do you remember where and when we met?
I met Tom in probably '94. I think at Antone's Music. That would have been where I met you.
Wow, in Newark.
In Newark.
We didn't meet before then, like at Anderson's? Or?
I don't think I ever met you at Anderson's.
Okay. Because that's where...
Because I would only go in on... I was only able to go on the weekends, and that's when Dave was there. Nobody went in when Dave was there.
I understand. Yeah. Okay, so 94. And you were you kind of too young to get into bars yet?
Yeah. I used to watch you play before I knew you. Because I'd watch you play in Hayward at Fairway Park.
Barsati's.
Barsati's from the outside.
I remember you told me that, and I was blown away because I didn't know anyone realized we were playing there.
What else was a guy who couldn't do anything on a Saturday night going to do except stand outside and watch people play guitar?
At Fairway Park.
Fairway Park.
So, after that, then you started gigging, and I was still gigging and stuff, and so how many bands have we actually been in?
Together?
Yeah.
3?
Well, I remember 2 for sure.
Yeah.
I know it was...
there was the...
Blue Meanies.
Blue Meanies and then Honey Wilders.
Was there something else?
I guess they weren't really bands. We just jammed together, played gigs together. But they weren't bands.
That's right.
We would fill in for each other's projects.
Yep, and I remember I played with you at a party where they had the Jello shots. I remember the Jello shots. Marshall's blaring.
And we got shut down.
Yeah.
We got shut down like a bunch of teenagers.
Fremont cops came and said, it's enough, boys. But the party went on after we stopped, right? They just kept partying. We just stopped.
I don't remember. We weren't really partiers, so we left.
I left. I remember I left too, yeah.
I think Chris stayed for some beer.
That's cool. And he was playing bass. Who was playing drums? Do you remember?
Mark Johansson. Better known as the Onion Ring.
Is that another episode in itself?
Probably. Good guy, though. Good guy.
Cool. I remember we had fun and we were loud, and I don't even remember which songs we played.
I know you had a Marshall and a Gold Top.
Yeah, I remember having the Gold Top, yeah. We call it TGT, and I got that at Guild.
I had a Marshall and I don't remember what I was playing.
Explorer?
I think I was playing an Explorer.
Could have been.
My 76 Explorer. Used to belong to Dave Dalton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was his guitar. And I got it. And then a guy named Steve has it now, I think.
Was it a 76?
It was a real 76.
Wow. Cool. I had one for a little while.
Had a crack in the back of the body. Dave whacked it over somebody's head or something. I think.
Now there's your punk right there.
That's where it came from.
Okay, so that's a pretty memorable gig. That was just like a one-off, though. Were there any memorable gigs we had as Blue Meanies or as Honey Wilders that would stand out?
Blue Meanie gigs. I don't think any of those gigs were exciting. They're all your standard bar affairs.
Sunnyvale.
San
Mateo.
Did we play in San Mateo? Yeah, we did play in San Mateo. Mr. Lederman.
Yep. And I think we played at a bar in San Leandro. A couple times, and that was really early because I think I still had my Parker.
I don't remember you playing the Parker.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just brought the telly.
I don't remember you playing the telly.
But it was in some little alcove. Yeah. But
I think that might have been not the Blue Meanies. I think that you might have just came and played with the band I was playing with.
That could have been.
Yeah.
Although I thought it was Roy and Lauren. So the Blue Meanies was Roy singing, Lauren playing drums, Graham playing bass, and you and me playing guitar.
Yeah.
I videotaped one night. I brought my camera in, and I think Brian ran it.
I remember that.
At Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
Pete and Molly's. What's the name of that place?
No,
it's not Pete and Molly.
No, it's Now it's gone. I had it in my head for a second.
It was right across from...
It was across the street from Murphy's Law.
Mm-hmm.
Paul and Harvey's.
There you go. We used to play there a lot, huh?
Yep.
And it was fun. And I got a video of us doing those. Those were not memorable, but I remember them as good gigs. But it wasn't like something major happened.
We were playing. It was fun.
It was fun.
Music was happening.
I think I was playing a little more aggressively back then. I think I've tamed my playing down over the last 4 or 5 years.
Aggressively? You still probably weren't loud enough.
Yeah,
Tom is never loud enough.
I think anybody that's going to be on this show will say that. I'm never loud enough. Oh, man. But Honey Wilder's gigs, one of them, I don't know, memorable. The Saddle Rack gig was fun because it was just a half-hour set with Marshall playing with us, or I was playing with you guys, whatever it was, and just rapid fire all originals.
Yeah,
and that was fun. That was, and we didn't have to lug PA or mics or anything, just our amps.
That was good. Did you do the gig in the Hollister bike rally with us?
Yes,
that was a good gig.
That we got up at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
That was not the good part.
But I think that was when we did. There was 4th of July. Maybe we did 2 gigs that day.
Yes,
we played the Hollister bike rally at like noon. And that was fun. That was with Marshall and Lauren and Eric and Lucas.
And then I think, do we have a different lineup in the evening? Did Marshall not play with us in the evening?
That's what it was, yeah. And then that was at the Milk Bar.
And then Brian, or who played with us in the evening? Anybody?
I think it was just
the 5 of us. We didn't have
a third guitar player, I believe.
Was Jeff still playing with us, or no?
No.
No, you played after.
He wasn't there that night, but we played at the Bacon Festival in San Jose, and he showed up for that.
The Bacon Festival. Was that the same weekend?
Yes,
it was like the next day.
It was the July 5th, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was...
So those kind of things are fun when you got 2 in one day and 1 the next, and you feel like you earned your...
And that's what killed the band, kids.
Doing too much?
Yeah.
You guys were, I think, gigging three nights a week, almost 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks a month before I got in. And when I finally got into
we did 110 gigs the year before, or 2013 or 14.
Dang.
It was ridiculous.
And then when I got in, because Marshall had to take some time off, it slowed way down to like maybe 4 gigs a month, 5 gigs a month.
Yeah, because without Marshall, nothing was happening.
Was he the main?
He's the main booker. He was the main booker.
He can talk, and
he can talk.
That's good.
He booked all the gigs forever.
Wow. I did a gig with you guys in Antioch. Was it? No, not Antioch. It was the Relic Tavern. It's not Antioch, is it? No.
That was Benicia?
Benicia, maybe, yeah. And there was a big bar fight, and
was there a big bar fight?
Yeah, there was a wedding party, and there was a fight, and one of the guys knocked into somebody, and they knocked their coffee drink all over Jeff's Telecaster. And
I do remember that.
And I told him, leave it. It's like battle scars. It's cool, man. Leave it.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So if he still has those stains on there, that's
blank. I blink out. It's all a blur. Yeah. Life is a blur, my friends.
So those are some. I like the marathons we did.
Well, the rock and roll marathons are cool. The bike races were cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bike race! Wow.
We did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was almost late to that one. That was. So the marathons are great. You get to set up on a lawn of like a school, and then they all run in front of you. The marathoners run in front of you while you're playing your set. And then one year we did a Saturday and a Sunday. That was, and you got to get up at like 5 a.m. to get there before everything starts.
That's not the good part.
And the bike rally in Saratoga, maybe was that Saratoga? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got there late because I had bad directions from my phone, and I pull up, set everything up, and you guys are already set up and waiting to start. It was like 3 minutes before we had to start. And I gave everything. I put my guitar on, I turn my amp on, and all I hear is, and I'm going, oh my God. After all this, and nothing's working. And you said, plug your guitar in. So I reached down, plugged the guitar in, and everything was fine.
Still wasn't loud enough.
That's probably true.
Wasn't loud enough.
All you guys got to do, just walk over and...
Turn the amp myself. I do that sometimes. You don't notice.
I don't. Well, I got a new amp.
I wait for you to walk a little forward and start soloing, and I just wander behind you and turn you up.
I got a new amp now, so it might be easier to find where the volume knob is.
Tom, you always have a new amp.
Yeah, I do. I go back and forth. I had like one amp at one point. I had my Marshall head when we played at the...
That's true, you had that with that little cabinet.
212 cab that my nephew let me borrow. Since then, I've actually got some...
He's got real gear again,
Real gear again, yeah. So, of all those were fun. But was there a worst gig that we did? What was the worst gig?
Ooh, gosh, that's like asking, what was the worst cup of water you ever drink.
because I didn't. There were so many gigs that happened before.
People
I got
getting
the band.
beat up at the Relic Tavern was pretty bad.
How about?
I mean, with you in the band or not
Yeah.
with you in the band? That was probably the worst. Like, that was bad.
What about the one up in Katati where no one showed up, but our stand-in drummer was a bit.
Oh gosh, yeah, that one was awesome.
He was on the way to there, huh?
He was
in the car.
he was drunk when he got there.
Yeah. So that wasn't fun. And they said, "Oh, it's going to be packed. It's college town," and it was like January, first week of January.
There's no one.
Nobody. We were just playing like paid rehearsal.
They did pay us.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
And long,
they paid us.
long drive home
Long
from
drive
Katati.
home. Sometimes you gotta keep it clean, though. There were other activities that made that gig interesting.
I just got in my car and drove home. Recording stories. I had a little home recording studio. We had fun in it. You had a little more action in yours. Yeah.
Commercial facility, as they say.
So we both knew what we were doing at the time. I don't anymore. He still does. But I've gone to your place. I don't know if I recorded anything in Sunnyvale. I don't remember. I remember rehearsing there with you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever recorded anything.
I just did a little recording here a few weeks ago, and like a year and a half ago.
Oh.
I can come to his studio with nothing but a Gatorade, and we can record 2 songs if we had to, because any gear he's got is going to be comparable or better than what I've got. So it's fun. I don't even have to bring a pick when I come here.
I try to make it easy as possible, kids.
And you do. And that's what I was trying to do when I had my place, even if, like I said, it was just my friends. But I had a Fender Rhodes in there, and I don't know how to play piano.
I got a Fender Rhodes. I don't know how to play piano.
But I had all different amps. It was fun, and it's always fun to have gear that you could just plug into and have fun with. So recording stories, there was one where we did for this upcoming 3rd album, and I played your Paul Reed Smith, and I don't play Paul Reed Smiths, but you know what? It was really cool, and it sounded great. So just plug the effects pedal in and go.
I don't play Paul Reed Smiths either, but it's really cool to play and it looks really great.
Yeah, and they're well made. And
it's great. Yeah. They're great guitarists. They record really well too.
So as far as recording stories, there are not a lot of them. Not a lot.
Most of my recording stories about Tom are listening to Tom's early recordings and going, "These are cool, man." Oh, we do have a great recording story.
Oh, at Brad's house, or
yeah, Brad's house. Tom recorded my first demo ever for a band I was in 1995 or 6 with a 8-track Tascam machine or something.
I wasn't sure it was 8-track or 4-track.
I think it was remember. 8 tracks.
Yeah,
because we overdubbed backing vocals. Tom and I sang the ooze on American Girl. And
you guys did like half a dozen songs.
Yeah.
Was it Iron Man or not Iron Man?
Paranoid. I think we did Paranoid. We did
American Girl.
We did Jim Blossom's tune. We did a blues tune. We did Hey Jealousy, Tore Down,
and Can't Get Enough of Your Love.
Can't Get Enough. That's right. And you overdubbed the harmony part because Brad didn't know it.
I got home and I plugged. A couple of days later, I plugged in an amp and I did the harmony solo for Can't Get Enough.
And surprisingly, Tom's home recording of it sounded so much better than what we recorded in the room.
But little did I know that we would be playing that song.
Same solo for 25 years.
For another 25 years. And it's still fun to play.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you get the notes right, it's fun. So once I got the notes right, I was having fun with it.
Even if you only get 80%.
Yeah. Because the crowd is, drinking and talking. They don't care. Yeah. So those are recording stories. So yeah, I brought all as many mics as I could, set them in, and you guys played live and then did a couple overdubs, I think.
Yeah, we played live and then I think we overdubbed the vocals.
Yeah. So that was fun, and then I mixed it.
I almost sang in key. It was really impressive.
It was cool. We don't want to do auto-tune because that's,
we couldn't afford it at the time.
Yeah, leave it as is.
It was very expensive at the time to auto-tune.
Yeah. I never even had that stuff.
I had an Atari's rack unit for a while when they were kind of new and exciting. It was actually really cool. It worked really well.
It's good technology, but it sure sucks the life out of stuff. So
only if you let it.
Yeah. The next question is, are there any recordings that you kind of wish you had of a gig we did that we just never did recordings of?
Oh, gosh. A million.
Yeah.
There's always that night, those nights where you play and you're like, God, I wish I had a tape of that.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had the Hollister Bike Rally.
The Hollister Bike Rally, I thought the sound was really good. I thought everybody played really well. It was kind of like our A lineup.
That would have been fun to have video.
That was always the A lineup, in my opinion.
Cool.
It was always the lineup I thought would be the lineup. Hold on, I gotta check, make sure it's not my daughter telling me something bad's happening. No, we're all good.
Cool.
But yeah, that was always the Honey Wilder lineup that only did, gosh, 4 or 5 gigs total ever, with you and Marshall and myself and Lucas and Lauren and Eric. That was the top notch. That was the best.
And
if we could have ever had Phil in that mix too, that would have been the
cool.
winner.
That'd have been cool because I like he's on the first album and I like the stuff he did.
Yeah, that would have been the thing. Have a nice front guy and tight band. Jeff was a great singer though. Jeff was a good singer and fair guitar player. I think the guitar playing level was best with the three of us, but because everybody did what they do.
Yeah.
And then Lucas and Ryan are the only bass players we ever had. Ryan was not as stellar a bass player, but a good singer. He was a good singer,
cool.
Great backup singer.
Oh,
Always had good ideas too on the singing front, which I always loved.
That's cool. I don't even know who. I never met.
I don't think you ever met Ryan. Ryan's a cool dude. He teaches now. Real cool dude.
Wow. Like school or bass?
School.
Oh, geez.
I think it's a school teacher.
Cool.
Yeah, everybody else grew up, not us. Unfortunately, we're still a bunch of degenerates. Well, I am. He's a good man.
He's a good man. This guy, we keep our day jobs because we have to.
I don't want to live in a van down by the river.
Right. We make sure we have good gear when we can, and we try to keep it up and try to make sure our strings are tuned up and clean. And
Tom does. I'm cheap.
But I got to say, you've done a really good job from my standpoint of being a dad, because Rose is a really great kid, and I don't think she could have. Well, I mean, she's gonna be a good kid, but she's got you and her mom did something right. So this isn't a kid psychology video, but I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We tried.
Yes, you did.
She would be a much better interview, by the way.
She's very
personable,
huh?
Of course, she's got all the personality you could ever want.
Yeah. I remember when
she takes after her mom in that world.
Oh, okay. Well, when she came to a gig, she's been to a few, and we even played with her. When she was a bit younger, at the Bacon Fest in San Jose, you brought her in. I thought, okay, Aaron's kid's gonna be sitting there, quiet, wants to play with it. No, she was like talking to all of us like she was in the band. It was really cool. She was just friendly, no pretensions, whatever. I mean, she was what, 12?
12 now? No, she was like Bacon Festival. She was probably 7 or 8.
And she was it. She was very cool. Okay, so
she's only 13 now, man.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize that she was that still. Okay, you know, me and numbers. I don't.
The chitlins.
So here's the final thing we can close with is what we were just talking about in the other room, and it's the bands that we like to get, the similar bands we like, and gigs we've gone to together. And I think it's an important question. If we've been in bands together, we have a lot of similar likes in common, that makes a good band. You know, if I liked only acid jazz and you liked hip hop, well, that would still work, wouldn't it?
Probably a little bit. Yeah. That'd be all right. We like the roots.
Yeah, that's right. So if I wanted to play classical and you wanted to play punk, that may not be so great.
Were you playing classical like Yngwie, or are you playing
classical like Bach,
okay.
or harpsichord stuff from the Adams
Family?
Family.
Right. I mean, into that.
Yeah, but if a guy wants to do that and another guy wants to play punk, it's not going to work, maybe. So anyway, my point is that we had a lot of bands in common growing up that we didn't even realize, and that helps when we're playing in a band, because you'll call a song and I'll know it already because I liked it when I was a kid. So it's like, even back as far as, well, of course, Cheap Trick is one of the big things we have in common.
We've seen them many times together.
Yeah. You were into REO Speedwagon, Gary Richrath anyway, and I was too. I latched onto him off of the Nine Lives album. And who else? There's quite a few. See, you were into...
I'm definitely more like the 70s Brit rock.
Yeah, you got Mott the Hoople and the Kinks and stuff, and I never got into it, but I like what I hear. I never bought their albums, but it's cool stuff.
I had an uncle that worked at a record store.
There you go.
So that was the key.
Go ahead.
Didn't have dad, so he always was like, check this out, check
That's
that
cool.
out. This is what you want to hear.
And my sister let me borrow her Pablo Cruz album,
Oh, there you go.
which was
My uncle played me the Pablo Cruz record, thinking that I would like it because I like the Eagles.
yeah. Oh, the Eagles. Joe Walsh.
Yeah, we both like Joe Walsh
Joe
and the
Walsh,
Eagles.
big
That's a
fan.
good one for us.
And there was another one too. Tom Petty stuff.
Oh, Tom Petty, yeah.
Mike Campbell and
Definitely.
Tom, yeah.
Mike Campbell and I.
See, so there's so many in common that it's easy. And that's like that with other guys I've played with. I'm sure other guys you've played with too.
Yeah.
Like me and Dave were into the Luke with Landau stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not so much into that, but that's just a small percentage. We got that Joe Walsh thing. We could you could rip out a Joe Walsh solo, and I could play the second half of it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I also know that stuff too.
Yeah.
Or the Luke
Yeah.
and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
not things that I went deep down the rabbit hole on. But
Right.
But you could make a statement about it, and I can go, oh yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Exactly, because it's music and it's guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like having a big Bradshaw rack.
Exactly. It's like it's real easy for me to say, hey, I need you to think about the song being like this when we're working on new material, and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm supposed to play.
That's all it is. That's all we do anyways. We just...
I just noticed my daughter left her dirty sock under the piano. Good job, P.
Well,
Good
I'll tell
job.
if there's a place for a dirty sock, maybe under the piano. Good.
Yeah, then she's going to tell me that she can't find her socks. Teenage daughter, man. Teenage daughter.
See? You got your finger on the pulse, man.
No, I don't. Obviously, I don't. There's a freaking sock under the piano.
Let's see. Of course, we're not going to edit that out, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah. So, let's see. What else we got?
Hopefully, we'll have a new album out soon, maybe, when all this is over.
Once we can
Tom is the only person I've had human contact with in 6 months. So.
And I'm just here to have lunch and make a show. So, but he might turn on an amp and we might push the big red button and record something, or not. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yep. I sure hope this is recording. That would be awful.
Famous last words.
Okay, so let's wrap it up by saying thank you. I would shake your hand, but then we'd have to go wash hands.
Yeah, we gotta wash hands and everything. It's awful.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being my bandmate and band leader and
I don't ever call me a leader.
Okay. How about you have the vision for it? Because
I'm the only one who makes a phone call. That's what it comes down to. I'm the one who sends out the text message.
Yeah, there you go. And we just say, of course, right? The rest of us say, yep.
Sometimes I wonder if everybody's going to show up.
Well, I do. And I'm glad I did today because it was fun. So thanks for watching. We'll have more in the future. And check out, if you see any videos of Honey Wilders, look at them. They're fun to watch and listen to.
And Tom, you've been in a lot of them.
I've been in a lot of them, yeah, exactly. So I guess we're ready to wrap it up and finish our sandwiches.
I already finished mine.
And I've been talking. It's because I've been talking too much.
I know, you're a talker.
Okay, thanks, and look for us next time.
Bye.